Hope everyone's having a fabulous day today. I sure as hell know I am. What's going on, everybody? How's it going? I hope you're all having a fabulous day. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. If you are welcome, welcome. You will get to know me real quick. All right, I'm going to roll the dice. All right, Capricorn, Jupiter, third house. Okay. Might be getting information in that's going to expand your life. And you know when you're in that critical part of your life and then you just find out this piece of information and you're just like, how was that kept from me for so long? Like, what was that? It's some type of philosophy of life. Thinking the other day about I moved out to BC for a little while in my 20s, and my sister's boyfriend at the time goes to me, Whit, make sure you stop and smell the roses. And I didn't really, you know that saying, stop, smell the roses, like you hear it, but you don't really think about it. And my time in BC was so short that I should have stopped and smelled the roses like way more. You know what I mean? Like I was a smoker, and driving across Canada, I don't know if you've ever done that or if you drove, far distance. This was 5.5 days of driving for me by myself, and I should have enjoyed it. I should have. There was this one time where I stopped in BC. I was going to the island, so I still had like another day of travel, once I got off the mainland. And I remember sitting there, there's this way that you can take through the mountains. There's like the Trans-Canada Highway way, and then there's this other way that you can go, and it just goes all through these amazing mountains, and it ends you basically end up in Hope. Okay, that's the city, that's the little town. And when you make it there, it's kind of like you have hope. It's really weird the way that sometimes where you can end up somewhere with it seems like such a foolish word or such a foolish name, but it makes sense. Like there's this town just outside of me called Assumption. And it seems like every time I drive through it, which isn't very often, but every time I drive through it, I'm always dealing with somebody in my life at the time that has made some really disgusting assumption about me. And I say disgusting because when you make an assumption about somebody, I should hope that you before you go telling everybody your so-called assumption, that you think about that, because sometimes, we make assumptions on things and we fly through life way too quickly and we do things way too quickly. And maybe Capricorn's here because a part of the devil is saying, you need to stop running, right? Or you need to, incorporate relationships into your life. There's teamwork. Okay. Transformation. Maybe somebody needs a team, they need somebody helping them, possibly. Like maybe you work a lot, okay, and you have a dog at home, and you didn't really think that the extra hours would take up your day as much as they do, but then you're like, you know what, why don't I just call a dog walker and come walk my in the middle of the day or something, like he's bored and he's sitting around, and like something says to keep him there because he's the dog, and he's keeping it real. People get dogs at home so then people don't break into their house. Okay, but now it's like, okay, well, you have a dog in your house, for security purposes. Why don't you learn a little bit more about what else that dog could be? Like what else could he be a part of? It doesn't just have to be sitting at home making sure your ass is okay. Okay, scratching at the surface. Something is coming up, okay? You're scratching at something, or something is just about to be revealed. Cover up operation. Like you can't quite see it. It's below the surface. Okay, working hard, unexpected. Did you see how that landed? No security threats. What did I fucking talking about with somebody's dog? Okay, no security threats. Man, get a ring cam. Fucking camera saved my ass so many times. Just saying I have a ring cam makes people turn around and walk away. I don't even have to have one. And people think I have one, but I do have one because I'm not that cocky. Where I can be like, oh yeah, I've got a bunch of cameras upstairs. Don't fuck with my shit. I actually do, so that people don't fuck with it. But, you know, if you think that something could happen, because like, when are you ever really safe? I mean, even my own grandparents, they lived in Beaver Cleaverville. Somebody got a hold and information that they like to leave all winter and go on vacation. Well, they got robbed. Okay, so you know, you think that your neighbors can watch out for you and stuff. This isn't neighborhood watch. This is, you got to go above neighborhood watch now, because neighborhood, you got to think about it. Like, yeah, I love when I see those neighborhood watch signs and stuff, because you really think like people are probably watching out, especially when we got kids running around and shit. You got to make sure that someone's paying attention sometimes. Okay. But I feel like it's like something can be advanced. So then maybe you don't feel like you're at a risk, or if you're at a risk, at least you can find out about it. Because like if my house gets broken into, say, okay, and the alarm starts going off and shit, which I never anticipated, but if it ever did, like, what am I supposed to fucking do? Like, if I'm at work, what am I gonna do? What up, Jess? Like, you know, like I gotta call the cops, obviously, but it's not like I can just drop everything and go run to my house and kick them out. The robbery is taking place, which means I'm fucked, but the camera just helps so then we can see what actually happened. Okay, so maybe somebody's got to beef up their security. I don't know. Honestly, you know how many times I've worked at places and I've been given the fucking key and the code for the alarm, like, on my second shift. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, how crazy are you? Like, you don't know me. You don't know who my friends are. You don't. And then this one chick, I swear to God, I worked for this one lady, dumb lady, was running a Ricky's out in Calgary, and I was working for her. And, again, she used to give her key away all the time. She didn't anymore, which is, you know, kind of why she was a little bit smarter when I worked for her, but still. These people broke in through the back door, decoded the alarm away, and came in and just stole liquor. Okay, they stole a couple of 40s. And the thing is that they stole all the liquor that was open, not the stuff that was closed underneath, you know, where she kept stock. So it was almost like, okay, well, they were dumb enough to grab the open bottles and not know that they were closed bottles. So therefore, you're obviously dealing with a cook who's in the back, who doesn't come out to the front, and they knew exactly where the security was, and they came through the back. So put two and two together, you're going to be able to figure it out. But if you're an asshole, then you've got people, you know, you're firing people, or people are walking out on you all the time, and they have a copy of your key. And you know, so many of these employers never asked for their key back. Never. Okay, and these were the fucking state-of-the-art keys with like the little chips in them and shit. Never asked for them back. And it just blows my mind. Like, what? Because you're just thinking that you're going to be okay because you got insurance? Like, because that's some people, you know, once they get insurance, it's they don't really care anymore. And, you know, like your stuff, as if they feel like their stuff can be replaced. Like, oh, I can replace this. I can replace this. Like, when you're not walking around thinking that you have enough money to rule the world, things mean something to you. Okay, like for instance, I've had this crow statue. Okay, I've even repainted it. I repainted it with nail polish. It's awesome. Its beak is broke off, but whatever. She doesn't care. I've had this fucking statue for probably 15 years. Like, if somebody stole this or broke it or it was burnt down, I can't just replace this. Like, yeah, sure, I can go buy another crow statue. Awesome. But is it going to be like this? No. Is it going to be my little watch guard who literally asks to be pointing out the window so she can see out the window? Clearly, there's nothing in this, but maybe there's an attachment. Maybe there's some kind of bird that really wants to watch what's going on outside. Okay, I don't fucking know. I believe in magic, so we're going to believe in magic. Okay, so there is something in this thing that wants to walk and watch what's going on in the backyard and wants to watch what's going on. I can't just replace this. It was like $20. It's not about the $20. It means something to me now. Okay. And that's the thing is like, I'm I'm thrifty. I'm not cheap. I'll fucking spend my money, but I'm not going to just spend my money because other people spend it on this thing, or because other people buy this, or you can get insurance, you know, and then just replace everything. Like, okay, that is the option for probably a lot of people. But like when I shop, I go to antique stores, I go to secondhand stores. I don't buy anything, for the most part, brand new. Like sometimes I have to because there's no way around it, or sometimes things are gross and I'm like, I'm not going to buy somebody's used cushion chair, you know, like that's disgusting. Okay. But I mean, it depends on the case, you know, but it's just like, again, like this desk I got, which I've painted now, I don't even know how many times, I found on the side of the road. Side of the road. It's wobbly. Not like I give a fuck. Okay. I'm not going to go, like if I had to buy this at IKEA, I would have spent $1.50 on it. How dumb is that? Just to paint it and fuck it up anyways, right? It's irreplaceable. I can't replace this table. Plus I painted it, you know, it's got my blood on it, right? Like, yeah, okay, it can burn down and I can just go buy another one, but like, who the fuck wants to do that? So it's almost like protect your investments. Okay, protect your investments. Don't just, you know, like, and then there's those, some people who, you know, have an extra little bit of money from something and then like, oh, I'm just going to go, you know, open up another store, open up this, open up that. I'm going to start something new. When you've got a store falling apart, your house needs a new roof. You know, you could probably put a couple grand into your car because it's super old. But, you know, I feel, this is a weird reading because I feel someone's got your back. It's like Spirit's got your back. Like, I don't know. Like, all of a sudden I changed the Capricorn to Sagittarius by accident. Get comfy and cozy. So now I feel like, okay, maybe you're thinking of buying a new car or buying a new house or buying new in general. Think twice about that. Okay. Because brand new cars, I've known people, brand new cars, it's a fucking fraud. It's just bullshit. Sure, it can help your credit, blah, blah, blah. You can also help your credit by using your credit card every day and paying it off all the time. Okay. There's other ways to increase your credit than just signing a dotted line and getting some fucking new car that's going to start to break down. That's the thing. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. Okay. Like the things that are used up and scratched up and fucking, you know, like think of it this way. And this is so cliche, but I feel like it needs to be said. It's almost like, okay, you're going shopping. Say this was the way that it was. You go shopping for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Okay. And you get lined up with this like one version of somebody who's like squeaky clean, no marks on them, no this, no that. They're just absolutely perfect. And then there's this other person who is a little bit more weathered, but they know, like they've been on the streets, they've been off the streets, they've been, you know, king of their castle, they've been a fucking peasant, they've been homeless, they've been, you know, get their shit together, they've had credit, they've had no credit, they've had, you know, family around, they haven't had family around, they've had cars for 20 years, right? Like, which one would you want? The one that just flashes the black card all the time and buys everything brand new, or the person who's weathered, knows some information and knows the tricks of the trade? Right? Like I'm always, honestly, I taught my sister this. I'm always on the hunt because of what I do. I'm always on the hunt for mechanics. Okay. For men who know what they're fucking talking about. Okay. Even women. Hey, you know, where do you get your hair dye? Where do you shop for this? Where do you go for this? Are there, you know, secret little shops that you like to go to and get, you know, rocks or books or something like that, as opposed to going to Chapters and spending a shit ton of money, but you're in Chapters. So obviously people think you got money or you're cool, you know, like there's this way of life that we're losing. And it's the big retail stores and it becomes the things that we are disconnected to, but society says we should connect with them because everybody else does, or that's what's cool today, right? When now I'm getting, again, You've Got Mail. I don't know why this fucking stupid movie keeps coming up, but you know how he's got Fox Books, aka Chapters, and she's got the book around, or the shop around the corner, you know, like, and everybody stops going to the shop around the corner because now they can go to Fox Books, but there's nobody there that reads, you know, storybooks at 4:00. There's no snacks. Okay. There's no old lady that you can talk to who's read every single book in the place. Like there's an authenticity that we're losing. okay? And it's the IKEA manuscript, okay? It's the everything has to be clean and tidy, and you know everything needs to be stacked properly, and it can't even look like anybody lives here or occupies it. Put your fucking sweater away. I don't want to see your boots anywhere. God damn it, if you leave fucking, you know, utility or anything, you know, like it's just like we're losing that grasp of life. And like people will look at my apartment and they think I'm sick. They'll go like, oh, you're sick. This looks like mental health. Because I've got like branches and like pine. I don't know, you can't really see, but I'm a witch, okay? I dry flowers out. I dry pine needles out. I dry sticks out for my snake enclosures, really. I don't usually ever throw away a bouquet of flowers. So those dry, and then I use them in spells and in rituals. And people think I look crazy, but I mean, you might be able to see some. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, so you can see some of what I got going on here. Okay, so that's a wreath I made right there. Everything I make myself. Okay, so all these are hanging flowers that are dead. Okay, and like I got spells on the walls and stuff like that, and stuff that protects. And like I'm a fucking witch. This is what I do. I might as well be in the woods in my apartment. Okay, if that looks sick to you, I don't know looks so mentally ill about that. I don't know, but people will say mentally ill. What? Because my walls aren't white, squeaky clean, you know, no fingerprints, no touching. You know, like my parents used to say, like, don't draw on anything. Fuck you. I draw on my walls all the time now. Okay, if I'm not drawing on my walls, then I'll fucking let a kid draw on my walls. Okay, honestly, like I enjoy life. I don't want this, you know, everything has to look clean and perfect because that's how I grew up. Clean, perfect, like nobody lives here, and you gotta every week we had to clean, and now I clean my floors when I fucking want to. Okay, and it's not once a week. It could be every other day. It could be every 3 days. I could vacuum fucking once a week, like twice a month. I don't know. Whenever it's dirty, I fucking clean it. Okay, I cherish the things that I have because it's my life, and it doesn't have to be picture perfect. And y'all know, fucking SWAT was here again the other day, fucking boarded off the roads and shit, said there was a standoff, put it on the news to stay away from the area. Yo, tell me I wasn't even in town. I left town and went to a closed down penitentiary while SWAT came here and blocked off my house for like 3 hours. I came home, my superintendent's like, where the fuck have you been? And I'm like, in the Kingston pen? And he was like, oh, that's funny. SWAT was here today. Guns. Okay, fucking machine guns and shit out. Fucking tactile team fucking on the roof and all this shit with a standoff with the meth house. They didn't get anybody. They didn't arrest anybody. Okay, and I still cleaned my floors that day. Okay, like I take pride in where I'm at, and you want to sit there and think that, you know, the world is perfect and I'm supposed to be here and you're supposed to be there and this is exactly what the world is supposed to look like. Those are the people that we're losing the world to, because they're categorizing it as something that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, so I don't know, maybe somebody needs to find the meaning of life, aka Jupiter, philosophy of life. Okay, get comfy and cozy in something. No, the universe has your back. There's been a cover-up to somebody's transformation, okay? And it has something to do with, you know, obviously there's somebody around you that doesn't want you working with a good team, okay? They want you working hard, not working smart, okay? They want you out there on the front lines when they know that you can get a comfy, cozy job inside where, you know, matches your age and your sexuality more, okay? But they want you... You know, like I had this dream the other night, and I think it was my stepmother, and like I'm 40 years old, and she was telling me that I could do this job. Okay, she was like, do this job, do this job. Like that's typical of my stepmother. Do this job, do this job, do this job. And I stood there in the dream with her, and I said, okay. I said, that's fine for a job for a 20-year-old. I said, but I'm 40. I'm not 20 anymore. And if I even try to go for that job, it's not going to make sense for where I'm at now. And I'm going to get fired or something's going to happen. I'm going to get hurt. And she just stood there and looked at me. And I was like, why are you here? You know, like I always wonder like why people show up in your dreams and why they, you know, like I haven't talked to my stepmother for years. I don't respect her. I don't like her. I wouldn't even look at her. I would spit in her direction if she came anywhere fucking near me. That bitch is so rotten. Okay, she's diseased, rotten fucking whore. I wouldn't come anywhere near her. Okay, and she comes into my dreams and she tells me what to do and she bosses me around. And I think like, my God, you've been doing this my whole life. I said to her, actually, I had a dream. Maybe it was part of this dream. And it turns out that when my stepmother met my sister and I think I was like 5 or 6. And my sister would have been, I don't know, maybe 8, something like that. And apparently, according to spirit, and I checked with the cards and everything, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Because it came through my dream again, made me, you know, bring the cards up to see what the fuck was going on. And apparently this bitch locked me and my sister up when she met us. She's some kind of fucking witch, and she locked us up and she spit away the key and said that we were too hard to work with and she wanted to be with my father and fuck her or fuck us if she was going to lose my father. She looked for him for long enough and blah, blah, blah. So she locked us in prison. So this dream that I had was with the gods and this fucking bitch right there acting like she's judgment standing in front of me. And I looked at her and I looked at the judge and I said, is 30 years enough? Like, have I paid for this so-called crime long enough, or are you just going to lock me back in here? Which is so ironic that I went to a closed down prison. Okay. And I was going to this town because my sister's friend almost died and this tractor fell on him and almost broke him in half. So he was sent up to this hospital. So we were like, fuck it. Okay. Well, we had the day off. We had to go up to Kingston anyways for something else. So they said, fuck it. We'll go see this man in the hospital and see what's going on and make sure he's okay. He's in critical condition. We couldn't see him anyways. And then my sister goes, let's go see the prison. And I'm like, okay, like, you know that it's a museum now and like a tourist attraction. And she thought it was still open. She's like, it's open. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, it's been closed for a while now. And so we go, like, we don't do the tour or anything because I can't really, like, being an empath, I don't really do well at places where people have been tortured. So we kind of like are walking into the prison and I had to pull back. I couldn't really do it. I got really creeped out. And like, there's this museum where it shows all the shivs and stuff that like prisoners have made over the years and stuff. And like the tortures chambers that they used and this like little tiny coffin they put the women in and all this shit. Like I was almost going to throw up. Like I was like, obviously somebody has incarcerated me in another lifetime. And I had a feeling that happened. And that's why when this epiphany came and I was literally, I must have been up for parole, okay, in this dream state. And I looked at them both like, I haven't done anything, okay? I haven't done anything in prison. I didn't violate anything. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't do anything. And now you're going to stand here and there was my judgment again if I was to stay in prison. And it's weird because if you have had dreams like that, or if you had dreams where you're locked up, or if you have some type of phobia, I've noticed phobias, okay, are usually from past lives. Okay, like I have certain phobias of weird things. Okay, it's not crippling, but I don't want to do that, and you're not gonna fucking like I won't go in the ocean. I won't go on any boats on the ocean. I also get seasick, but I don't fly over the ocean. I don't fuck with the ocean, okay? I don't know why. Perfect Storm is my favorite movie. I don't know if I went down in a ship, but I won't. Oh, I'm pretty sure I did because I did some work with the dead out on BC Island. If anybody, I don't know, maybe I'm getting a past life regression. I don't know if somebody wants to do a past life regression or something like that, talk about their past. I've been able to tap into multiple lifetimes with people before in their readings to try to see why they're here in this lifetime and why they've had the struggles that they've had. Like my father, in my 20s, and this was a reenactment of the 1800s. I have scoliosis and I don't take anything for my pain. And my doctor finally was like coaxing me into taking shit or he didn't really want to be my doctor anymore. So I said, okay, fuck it. Give me a drug then and I'll try it out. And little did I know that a lot of pain drugs in Canada are mixed with antidepressants, right? Because they say that the 2 and 2 go together. You're obviously in pain, then you're obviously depressed, okay? I don't know why. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But these pain pills put me in this like black hole. Okay. And I called my father within 3 days. I was like, I'm off these pills. I don't know who the fuck. And I was so angry at my doctor for even putting me on them. I called my dad and I was like, I'm done with these pills. I'm not fucking taking them. I feel like I'm in a closed casket. I feel like I'm in this blackness, and that's not me. You know, I'm an alive person. He called my doctor right away as he hung up the phone with me, calls my doctor and tells my doctor I'm suicidal. I'm having suicidal thoughts. My doctor calls me right away. Okay. I think I was like, I don't know, 26 or 27 or something like that. He calls me and he's like, are you in serious distress? I'm like, what? I think I was like driving to work or something. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm on my way to work. And he's like, well, we were told that you're suicidal and that we need to send an ambulance over to your house because you have suicidal thoughts and you're in a black hole and you want to kill yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who the fuck? I was like, what the I called my father immediately. I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? I had a private conversation with you. But because my doctor gave birth to me, literally, okay, he had been our family doctor forever. You know, when I find bias, you know, people become biased and they just don't listen to you anymore. And they're like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're a pill popper. Oh, you're just looking for drugs. And then I told him I had scoliosis, which I found out from a chiropractor because I went and did an x-ray. And you know what my doctor does? Bends me over, feels up my spine. Says my spine feels fine. Oh, that's nice. I had the x-ray in my hand open on my phone and he wouldn't look at my phone. And I thought, you know what? This is so fucked. You can be a doctor all you want and still be able to see the difference between insanity and fucking mercy, okay? And you know, some of these people, even your parents, even your grandparents, you know, thou shalt not speak. You're not to talk about anything. You're not to talk about what you see. You're not to talk about what you dream. You're not to talk about how you feel. You got to bottle all that shit up. You let that out on the boat when you're fishing. You let that out, you know, when you're drinking with your boys on a Friday night. Like, it's so anti-life that we get, and again with the IKEA reference, it's so unalive that people attach to it because it makes them feel familiar to something because they are dead. They're not walking around like, I don't care if they're eating and shitting and breathing. It doesn't mean that they're alive. And that's what a lot of collective has to realize, is that the people that you're dealing with are not woke. You might be, but they're not. And they're not going to understand what you're saying, and they're not going to accept you. And you say, you know, hey, by the way, that soldier is walking out of place. You're going to get fucking smacked on the back of the head before anybody says anything about a soldier walking out of place. As an analogy, you know what I mean? Like, pointing out the obvious of what's going on, but yet people don't point out the obvious, so shut your fucking mouth. Okay? And I think that's why we do have tarot readings and we do have to do this, because so much of collective is so battered and broken and bruised, okay, by what they grew up in, that they don't realize that they put their entire life on the line, never once stopped to smell the roses, never once stopped to enjoy it, because they were already on their way to the next thing that society said they needed to do in order to keep their life going, right? Like, jump to this, jump to that, do this, do that, never enjoy it, never stop, never breathe it in, right? It's take a picture and move on. Why do you think people say take a picture? So then you can move on, so then you don't enjoy it, right? Because I mean, a lot of pictures, they're mentally in here. You know, I got all my trips, I got every adventure I ever went on, it's all up here. I don't need pictures. I stood on the cliffs. I took pictures. I watched the caves. I went, you know, like, I did it. So it's all here, right? So circumstantially living somewhere or in something that you don't even really understand or want to be a part of, think about why you're doing it, because maybe you need a new life. And trust me, your new life doesn't come without its restrictions and downfalls, but once you get rid of all of the losers and all of the gaslighters and all the narcissists, and you just have this beautiful little life of just you and the chosen few that you hand selected to be in your life, fucking smooth sailing. You don't even have to go on the water ever again, because you're sailing so fast through life. It's like, fuck it, all right, I have to stop and sit down, because if I don't, I'm going to miss the next moment, because my life is so amazing. Okay? I'm getting really hot now. God damn it. That was a really hot channel for some reason. And now my blood is... Whew. boiling. Oh my God. Oh. All right, I kind of did start this other reading here, but just give me a second. I have to let the heat come through the skin. All right. I've never done it before. I just keep cutting the deck. I don't know if you can see. But look what I just did. I just cut the deck into a million pieces for the message. Okay, here we go. Haul it in, forget it. Okay, so from the looks of it, there's okay. Okay, so I feel like it's a possibility that somebody is, honestly, I don't know if they're going to be having sex soon. I don't know if you've had a spell, but it could be coming to an end. Okay, and it's this weird twist of events that's going to happen. That somebody is not quite, perfect storm, volcano. Okay, something big is happening. Okay, and this is facts. Dana Scully here. Don't fuck with Dana because she's facts. She's science. Okay, now we got third-party witness. So somebody has, I almost feel like this is a premonition, possibly, or something that has happened in the past already before. So the universe knows it's going to happen again because you've done it before, you'll do it again. Okay? So somebody just left a relationship where they, from the looks of it, were guilt-tripped all the time. Okay? And so much so that, like, it seems to, like, it started to really torture them. Okay, because they were working really hard, and maybe somebody was like taking all their money, right? Guilt trip, give me money. Like I got this premonition about somebody, about a girl, not a girl, but like, female, and she was getting her nails done. She wanted to get her nails done and her hair done and something else. And this guy was like, I'm not paying for that. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, paint your own fucking nails, cut your own hair. Like, what the fuck? Like, obviously they're sick of paying for something over and over and over again. Okay? And like, they're working really hard for their money. And that's the thing. Like, I don't go to the hairdresser. I pay my own nails because my money means something to me. Okay. If I need my eyebrows tweezed, I do them myself. If I want my ass waxed, guess who's going to Shoppers Drug Mart to get wax strips? Okay. I don't need anybody looking at my hooch, tearing up my shit. Okay. Cutting my hair off, making me look ugly. All right. You learn how to do those things yourself. But clearly, and this person knows that. Okay. Clearly, he might even cut his own hair. Okay. He cleans his own fingernails. Guys don't really sometimes understand what women feel like, oh, I'm under pressure. All my friends are doing it and I got to look lavish and I got to look like this and I got to look like that. And it's like, yeah, but bitch, there's a price tag on all that. There's a price tag. Okay. You got to keep up. You want to keep up with the Kardashians? You got to keep swiping that card. And what I've noticed is a lot of bitches be living way outside their means because they need to get their nails. When I used to get my nails done back in the day, bitch, they cost $40 for a fill. Why is it all of a sudden these bitches are paying like $400 for their nails? A fucking set of nails? That's insane to me. That's a paycheck. Okay? It's a house payment. Okay? So some women, they don't understand how dumb they are until they take the fake nails off and start painting their own nails and saving that money. Okay. And then putting it into something like, oh my gosh, man, I get some extra money. I go buy some aquarium plants. I go buy some shit for my snakes. Okay. I don't even buy myself stuff. Okay. I buy shit for them usually. Okay. It's stuff that they need. It's not stuff that they want. And I think that's sometimes where people fall off the track. It's like, I want. But you don't need any of that. Okay. And if you're not working for it, making somebody else pay for it, bitch, you get your own paycheck and see how fast that shit goes once you buy one bottle of that $100 shampoo. Okay. So there's the sun. So somebody's changing relationships. Okay. And I don't know if this is like a physical relationship or you're just going to change the game. Okay. In your life. Start doing shit, hemming your own pants. Okay. You want a graffiti shirt, graffiti it yourself. Okay. Quit buying and spending. Okay. And usually that comes down to when you start having your own money. It's easy to spend somebody else's money. Okay. When it's your own money, then it's like, well, I'm not spending it. Yeah, but you want somebody else's to spend, but you won't spend your own? Something wrong there. Okay. So whoever, I don't know, man, maybe somebody doesn't want to be with somebody because they think that this is how women are. Every woman does this kind of shit. They all spend this much money and, no. I'm here to tell you, no. Not all women are like that. Okay. So there's this huge twist of events that happens. Once this person realizes that it's possible that the people that they were lined up with in the past were superficial lineups to teach this person to just stay single, right? Just stay single until you meet the right person, until somebody, it's not an obligation. It's, we're here to hang out together. Okay. I tried to have sex with this guy. I knew him for 14 years. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to have sex with anybody, I'd want to have sex with somebody I know, like not some random stranger. And if I want to hang out with somebody, it might as well be somebody I know. Okay. And he's still freaked out. Oh my God, I can't do a relationship. I can't do this. And I'm like, we can't just sit and have sex. Like, that's not a relationship. Okay. Maybe that could lead down the road to something. Okay. But that's the thing, is like, it depends what you're looking for. It depends what you need. At that moment in my life, I just needed sex. I just needed somebody to smoke some weed with me, have some sex, then go home so I could sleep by myself. Okay. Depends what part of your life that you're in. And some people will still freak out over that because they'll be like, well, no, you're going to want this and you're going to want that. And it's like, who said that? What? Because the 5 women out of 8 billion people that are here all felt the same way, that you think all women are like that? And that's the thing, when women cliche dudes, like every dude is the same. No, they're fucking not. They're very much different. Okay. So some people get it. Some people don't. It just depends what level and what drift you're on. Okay. So whoever this person is, whether it's you or somebody you're dealing with, okay, something is going to happen. And I feel like it's not even something that's anticipated. It's not something that, it's not, there's no ulterior motives. Okay. That's the thing, is because sometimes even when you are completely honest with somebody, they will still claim you have ulterior motives, when the way that I see that is maybe they have ulterior motives. And they're going to push them onto you as if you do. And it's like, motherfucker, I told you what I wanted. You're the one that freaked out. You're the one that couldn't handle it. Okay, so this twist of events is maybe they're used to people not being able to handle, who they are. Or maybe this person is away for work all the time or something. People can't handle that, right? They need to be with them all the time. Some people are mature. Some people go away for work. They can't be with somebody all the time. If you don't have your own life and your own friends or your own gig or, your own happy little existence, then you are in a narcissistic relationship where you're getting something that you need because you can't give it to yourself. And then if that person doesn't give you what you need because you can't fill your own cup, it's their fault immediately. When, how is somebody supposed to fill your needs? They're your needs. You fill them. Okay, what's left over, you give to your mate. Okay, and that's what's wrong with people is they give and they give and they give and they forget to give to themselves. And it's like there are relationships out there that you don't really have to give much, or you can give when you can, and when you can't give, you can't give. What's so wrong with that? Why do we have to give so much or feel like we have to? It's not, what would you call that word? It's not regular. That's not standard. That's not, what the fuck is that word? I don't know. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. Okay. There's a volcano here, and someone's going to see something a little differently. Right? Like maybe this is something to do with work or something, and your boss asks if you want to do this new job, and you're like, that's way too much responsibility. I'm not used to that. I'm used to being guilt tripped all the time. I'm used to, being here for everybody else. If I go into that position, then, I'm not gonna be able to help these people, stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, the analogies are so weird because sometimes the analogy has absolutely nothing really like what Collective's going through, but it's the only way I can say it. I need to say it away. So I just say it. Spirit says it the most honest way that people would understand that need to understand it. If that makes sense. Oh, my nose is so itchy, which means something is big. Okay, this bat won't stop itching. Okay, this tower's coming down. Something's hiding in the mist. And whatever's hiding in the mist has to do with this. S-E-X. Okay, S-E-X. And that's the thing I just heard Spirit just say, you know what? Like, sex isn't worth it all the time. Okay, and, good for them. Maybe these are two people coming together that realize that sex is not, there's more to life than just sex. Okay, and yeah, it can be there and it can be awesome, but we still have a life to live. Okay, we still got to go to work. Okay, we still have to spend time. We still got mission. We still got stuff to do. Okay, so maybe this is a point where somebody leaves a very vain life of thinking that, man, this one ex, honestly, if I didn't have sex with him the second he wanted to have sex, we got into an argument. It was, well, why are you even here? Why do you think girlfriends are here? Girlfriends are here to have sex with their boyfriends all the time and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, looking at him like, okay, so now you want to have an argument about it? Is that how you think this is all going to come about? Like, how about the nice gesture? How about, I don't know, fucking try. Not just have sex with me right now. It's like, do you know how to speak to a female? Like, I don't care if you're good looking. Watch your motherfucking mouth, bitch. All right, what are we at? 44:53. I like that time. I'm going to peace out because I have to do some shit. Pardon me. Whoa. So thank you for watching. I hope it resonated. I don't really remember anything that I just talked about, so I'm going to have to rewatch this one before I do the title. My nose is so itchy. whitneymoonshine@gmail.com to get a hold of me. And thank you for liking the video, and thank you for being here. All right. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Send those telepathic questions in my way so I can answer them for you. And yeah, namaste, motherfuckers. I love each other.